So, stop talking. Shh. Here we go. So, let's take a look at this. Today what we want to do, our date is Diciembre 3. Y 2. Gracias. Our objective is really going to be adding or subtracting rational expressions but today we're going to need a common denominator. Okay, so we're going to need a common denominator. Okay, and I'll let you write that down, okay? First two are going to be, I'm hoping, pretty easy. Right? Really, I'm hoping the first two are going to be easy, right? See right your head. I like to use colors. I'll use red to put down my denominators. You'll see why. So let's take a look at example 1. What does the first fraction have that the second fraction does not have? Right, the 2. So we're looking at the denominators, right? Look at the denominators. A 2. So let's give it a 2. So I'm going to give it a 2 over 2. I have to do top, bottom, same, right? And then if I rewrite this second fraction, it's going to be a 16 over 2x. Okay, I'll let you catch up. So again, I like to say, what does one fraction have that the other doesn't? Right? So I think this one's pretty easy to see. Yeah, you're heavy. That's right. That is the answer. I needed a 2 to make it 2x. I gave it a 2. So now we have a common denominator, right? Which is 2x. So I'm going to add them. My common denominator is 2x. 3 plus 16. I can add that. It's just 19. Here's my answer. Thumbs up. Not bad, right? Okay, let's look at example 2, right? So what does the first fraction need? Needs a 2. You guys see that? So if I times it by 2, I get a 6. Everybody agree with that? So the first fraction, let's times it by 2 over 2. And the second fraction, what's the second fraction need? This one has a y, this one doesn't, so I'll give it a y over a y. All right, so I'm going to rewrite these so they have the common denominator. I'm going to 6xy and an 8 on the top minus an 8y over a 6xy. Okay, how am I doing? So far, so good? Now, we have a common denominator, right? And our common denominator is our 6xy. So we're going to go 8 minus 8y. Now, you really can't subtract those, so it's just 8 minus 8y, okay? We could reduce everything by 2. So I would take this answer. I would not mark this wrong. But I could reduce by 2. Everything. I'm going to reduce everything by 2. Okay, so I would take this answer. I'm okay with this answer. But I might take it a step further, and I might write it as a 4 minus a 4y over a 3xy, okay? That's a better answer for me. I would take this answer, okay? All right, so now let's take a look at example 3. So do example 3. What I want to do is this. I'm going to factor. I'm going to factor this 3x squared plus 6x. It's going to make it easier for me to see what they have in common. So I'm going to rewrite this as 8 over a 3x times an x plus 2. And I'll stop and let you, I'm not done. I only wrote the first thing. I'm not done. Okay. So by factoring, changing 3x squared 6x into this, common 3, common x, took out the x, then they're starting to look kind of the same, right? So that was a good step because now they're starting to look kind of the same, right? So that factoring helped me out. So now I'm going to rewrite the minus 2 x over my x plus 2. I don't need parentheses, but if that helps you, I'll put them there, okay? So, what does the first fraction have that the second fraction doesn't? Yeah, it has a 3x. So I'm going to give it a 3x over 3x. And now they both have the same denominator. So my denominator is going to be my 3x times an x plus 2 minus 6x squared over 3x times an x plus 2, okay? Alright, kind of complicated, right? But we're getting it. I think everybody sees that we needed 3x. Got that again, 3x, so they have the same. And I need to make that a 6x squared. Okay, 6x squared. So now they have the common denominator, right? So let's subtract. You can't really subtract, but what we're going to have is 8 minus 6x is just going to be a 8 minus 6x squared over my common denominator, which is my 3x times my x plus 2. Okay? And that's all I can do. Not a very nice looking fraction, but I subtracted them, right? I'm listening. Go ahead.
Can you go deeper into detail with it?
Huh?
Can you go deeper into detail with it?
With this one?
Yeah.
Do you want me to go over it again?
Well, no, like on the answer, like.
I could take out a 2. Alonzo, good job for seeing that. I could take out a 2, but it wouldn't help me. Really good. I'm glad you're looking that way, okay? You're looking at what more can I do. I could take out a 2, but it wouldn't help because I wouldn't be able to cancel, okay? That was a good question. Okay, guys ready to turn the page? All right. Now, example 4. So, this one's the same. They don't have anything in common. You agree? This next one is 2, x plus 8. But what we can do is give this one x minus 2, we give this one x minus 2, and we give this one x plus 8. And then our common denominator would be both of those, right? So to make them the same, we'll give the first fraction the x minus x plus 8. And we'll give the second fraction the x plus 8, or the x plus 2. So this fraction needs a x minus 2. And this fraction needs the x plus 8. So if they don't have anything in common, we just have to make sure that we give the first fraction the x plus 8 and the second fraction the x minus 2. So now they have the same. You guys agree? Okay, so my common denominator then is my x plus 8, x minus 2. My numerator is going to be, watch this, my numerator is going to be a 15x. Is that 90? 15 times 8, hold on.
120. 120.
Nice. Plus 120. Nice job. Plus, common denominator, x plus 8, x minus 2, right? And I've got to do 3 times x, 3 times 2, 3x minus 6. Okay, let me step back and let you see what I've done. So in this case, to get a common denominator, I just had to give one fraction what it had and the other fraction what it had. So we gave each other what they had. and what we have is this one needed an x plus 8, this one needed an x minus 2, so our common denominator is both those, right? I distributed to simplify the top, the numerator, and I distributed to make the numerator the bottom. Now we have a common denominator, so let's add. So I have a x plus 8, x minus 2, and then on the top I'll have a 18x plus 114. And that's all you can do. Nothing will factor, nothing will cancel. It's okay though. We added them, right? That's it. There's my answer. Okay, now, if we can make it easier, we will. Meaning this. Maybe by chance, 2x squared minus 5x minus 3, maybe by chance it factors. If it does factor, wouldn't it be nice if it was one of these? So again, if this factors, if this does factor, and one of the factors is this, it's going to make it easier for us, right? And I think this will factor, so let's check this out. Let's see if this factors, okay? All right, so if I try and factor this right here, I think it does factor. I think it factors into 2x, x, 3 and a 1, minus and plus. I'll check my double smiley. Remember how we do our double smiley? Okay, ready real quick. Okay. 2x squared, right? See 2x squared? Minus 6x, positive 1x makes that negative 5, right? And then I get my negative 3. Okay, good, it factors. That's awesome because now it makes it easier. So why do I say that? Why did I make it easier? Come on, why did I make this easier?
2x plus 1.
That's all we need, right? So this fraction needs what?
X minus 3.
What does this fraction have and this one doesn't?
X minus 3.
Yeah, so I actually did make it easier, didn't I? Yeah. So let's multiply by the x minus 3, right? So multiply by the x minus 3. X minus 3. So that my common denominator is going to be, well, let's see, it is my x minus 3, 2x plus 1, and on top I'm going to get a 3x squared minus a 9x plus, well, let's see, my common denominator is my x minus 3, 2x plus 1, or 10. Well, I need to add them, but it's just going to be like algebra. I'm going to add these. I'm going to add these, but it's going to be like algebra. You can't really add any of these. Why am I saying I can't really add? I can't add any of these. How come?
They all have different.
They're different, right? They're different. X squared, x, and the number. So I'm just going to put it together and be done. I'm just going to put it together and be done, okay? So let's put it together. And let's rewrite this as a 3x squared minus 9x plus 10 over my common denominator. Okay, all right. So we did some hard stuff today, but I think the trick really for us is that we just look at them to make a common denominator. You just give one what the other doesn't have, and vice versa, right? Okay. So homework's in our journal. We're going to do page 187. So we're going to do page 187. We're going to do 1 through 10 all. 1 through 10 all. And then we'll work on our tower.